Namaste. Today we shall learn about Bloom's revised taxonomy of the cognitive domain. If you look at the revised Bloom's taxonomy, the first objective is remembering, second, understanding, third, applying, fourth, analyzing, fifth is evaluating, and the sixth is creating. Now, let us have a look at each of these objectives in detail. The first objective is remembering. Remembering is the ability to remember previously learnt material. It involves the recall of a wide range of material, from specific facts to complete theories. It retrieves relevant knowledge from long-term memory. That is, the bringing to mind the information. This stage represents the lowest level of learning outcomes in the cognitive domain. Can you recognize, recall the law, facts, principles, formula, characters, elements? So, the action verbs used are recognizing and recall. The second objective is understanding. Understanding is the ability to grasp the meaning of material. It helps to construct meaning from instructional messages, including oral, written, and graphic communication. Understanding may be shown by translating material, by interpreting, and by predicting or estimating future trends. The learning outcome goes one step beyond the simple remembering of the material. The action verbs used in understanding are interpreting, exemplifying, classifying, summarizing, inferring, comparing, and explaining. So we say, can you explain, can you describe, can you interpret, can you classify on the basis of facts, laws, principles, and theories. Now let's pause the video, think, and list down the answer to the given question. You may write the answer in your notebook after pausing this video. What is the difference in the above two levels of objectives discussed with reference to the learning outcome? Now that you must have listed, let me tell you the answer. Remembering level objectives cater to the recognition and recall of facts, laws, principles, theories, whereas the understanding level goes one step beyond remembering. The learning outcome at the second level, the learner is able to explain, describe, classify, interpret the facts, laws, principles in his or her own words. The third objective is applying. It refers to the ability to use learned material in new and unfamiliar situations. It helps to carry out or use a procedure in a given situation. It includes the application of such things as rules, methods, principles, laws, and theories. The action verbs used for applying are executing, using, implementing. We have to think whether we can use information in another situation. If you are able to do this, That means you are able to apply information. Once again, let's pause the video and think and list down the answer to the given question. How does applying level differ from the understanding level of objectives with reference to the learning outcome? Well, now that you have written the answer, look at this. At the understanding level, the learner explains, describes, interprets the learnt content in a familiar situation. However, at the applying level, the learner is able to use the learnt information in a new and unfamiliar situation. The next three levels of objectives are of higher order thinking. The next one is analyzing. Analyzing refers to the ability to break down materials to its component parts to understand its organizational structure. It includes the identification of parts, analysis of the relationship between parts, and recognition of organizational principles involved. Learning outcome represents a higher intellectual level than comprehension and application because they require understanding of both the content and the structural form of the material. In analyzing, one has to break material into its constituent parts and determine how the parts relate to one another and to an overall structure or purpose. The action verbs used for analyzing are differentiating, organizing, attributing. If you are able to break information into parts to explore relationship, if you are able to differentiate, organize or attribute, that means you are able to analyze. Again, let's pause the video and answer to the following question. What type of questions I need to ask to use analyzing level of objectives in my classroom teaching content? The next stage is evaluating. Evaluating is concerned with the ability to judge the value of material for a given purpose. Judgments are to be based on definite criteria when you are evaluating. Evaluating may be internal or external criteria. Learning outcomes in this area contain clearly defined criteria, elements of all the above categories plus value judgments. One has to make judgments based on criteria and standards while evaluating. The action verbs used for evaluating are checking, critiquing, justifying. If you are able to make and justify a decision or course of action, that means you are able to evaluate. The last stage is creating. Creating refers to the ability to put parts together to form a new whole. It involves the production of a unique communication, a plan of operation, or a set of abstract relations. Learning outcome in this area stresses creative behaviors with major emphasis on the formulation of new patterns or structures. When we are able to put elements together to form a coherent or functional whole, reorganize elements into a new pattern or structure, we say we are able to create. The action verbs used for creating are generate, plan, produce, design, construct, invent, devise, or make. So, can you generate new products, ideas, or ways of viewing things? If yes, you are able to create. This is all that we have to learn about Bloom's taxonomy of the cognitive domain. Thank you.